Hello and welcome to another vintage day. Today I thought I'd take a drive out to a place that most people don't know even exists. I'm going to Stonehenge. And I'm not going all the way to England, because we actually have an American version of it. I'm high atop of a butte overlooking the Columbia River Gorge, experiencing breathtaking views. It is a glorious day in this early month of March. It is officially called the Stonehenge Memorial. It is part of the Maryhill Museum. It was erected as the nation's first World War I memorial by Sam Hill. It was to honor the servicemen of the Klickitat County in Washington who died in the service of their country during the Great War. The monument was dedicated in 1918 while the war was still going on, and it was completed in 1929. Hill incorrectly believed that the original Stonehenge was constructed as a place of human sacrifice. He believed there was a parallel between the loss of life in World War I and the sacrifices at ancient Stonehenge. He set out to build a replica on the cliffs of the Columbia as a reminder of those sacrifices and the incredible folly of the war. In 1918, Hill chose the most dramatic spot of the property he owned to erect his memorial, a windswept bluff high above the Columbia River. Now, I visited this place a few times now, and I can attest to the fact that it can be windy. So much so, it can knock you over. He tore down an inn that he had originally built here and began erecting a full-size, astronomically aligned replica of Stonehenge. Hill was guided by leading authorities on archaeology, astronomy, and engineering. Hill combined their knowledge to duplicate the designs as close as possible to the ancient Neolithic ruin in England. He originally wanted to use local stone. However, when the rock proved unsatisfactory, Hill decided to use reinforced concrete and began to engineer it like many of the roads and other buildings he was well known for that used slabs of reinforced concrete. Hill had no interest in making it a picturesque ruin. He built it like he believed the Druids would have done if they had 20th century construction technology. To give it a rough, hand-hewn texture, they lined the wooden forms with crumpled tin. A total eclipse of the sun was predicted for June 8, 1918, and the best viewing point was not far from Stonehenge location. Professor Campbell of Lick Observatory at the University of California agreed to fix the position of the altar stone. Unlike the ancient Stonehenge, it is aligned to the astronomical horizon rather than the actual midsummer sunrise. As such, it results in a 3-degree difference from the original structure. Combined with the 5-degree difference in latitude and the manner in which the surrounding hills obscure the actual horizon, Stonehenge Memorial is difficult to use as an astronomical calendar. On July 4, 1918, the altar stone was dedicated with a plaque that reads, "To the memory of the soldiers and sailors of Klickitat County who gave their lives in defense of their country. This monument is erected in hope that others inspired by the example of their valor and their heroism may share in that love of liberty and burn with that fire of patriotism which death alone can quench." But who was Sam Hill? Well, Sam Hill was one of the most colorful and influential figures in the Pacific Northwest in the early 1900s. He was a successful businessman, world traveler, builder of monuments, and an early advocate of paved roads in the states of Washington and Oregon. In 1899, he helped to persuade the Washington State Legislature to create the Washington State Department of Transportation. Hill traveled extensively and was part of many business and political adventures. In his travels, he met many influential people and became friends with King Albert I of Belgium and Queen Marie of Romania. He had a remarkably close friendship with Queen Marie. Starting in 1907, Sam Hill bought up most of what had been a small settlement called Columbia or Columbus, about 5,300 acres near the Columbia River in Klickitat County, Washington, with the dream of establishing a Quaker farming community. He formed the Maryhill Land Company, named after his daughter. In 1914, he started building his hilltop mansion that was to be his home. The building is constructed of steel I-beams with interior steel studs. The walls, floors, and ceilings are poured concrete reinforced with steel. No wood was used in the structural part of the building, but the remote location of Maryhill and the lack of irrigation proved insurmountable obstacles, and the land company failed and the construction of the Hills Mansion stopped in 1917. His friend, Miss Fuller, a pioneer of modern dance and theatrical lighting, convinced him to turn his would-be mansion into a museum of art. Fuller's close association with well-known artists in France helped build the core of the museum's collection, including the acquisition of more than 80 works by French sculptor Auguste Rodin. Hill also transferred his own artwork collection to the museum. Still unfinished, the Maryhill Museum was dedicated in 1926 by Sam Hill's friend, Queen Marie of Romania, who just happens to be the granddaughter of Great Britain's Queen Victoria. It was a ceremony that received national attention and was attended by more than 2,000 people. She also donated many items to the collection. The Maryhill Museum is located very close to the Stonehenge Memorial, and it is definitely worth a visit. Stonehenge Memorial was completed in 1929 and rededicated on Memorial Day of that year. The men honored at Stonehenge are listed on individual bronze plaques on the interior ring of the memorial. Hill's Stonehenge Memorial is a monument to heroism and peace. When Samuel Hill died in 1931, his ashes were placed in a crypt just below the Stonehenge Memorial. Over the next 25 years, the crypt deteriorated and was replaced in 1955 by a granite monument bearing his epitaph. Samuel Hill, amid nature's great unrest, he sought rest. The Stonehenge Memorial is an immense structure. It feels like an anchor in this fairly remote part of the Columbia Gorge. The views are magnificent, and off in the distance you can see the majestic Mount Hood. It is a place where you can feel how big the world is around you. Be sure to pack your picnic lunch and enjoy this beautiful location. The park does provide picnic tables, but there are also a lot of stone bluff edges to sit on and enjoy the scenery. Keep in mind that this area is remote and no services are provided. I hope you enjoyed our trip to Stonehenge. I would like to provide more videos in the future, so if you like this video, please hit that thumbs up and subscribe. And I'll see you next time here on another Vintage Day.